Y'all, I know it's been a couple of days, and let me tell you, I have really been doing my best to get this podcast out. So real quick, hey you guys, it's your favorite host with the number one podcast in the universe, okay? Mama K, the mommy and the mogul, and I'm so happy and grateful to have y'all here. What's up, y'all? What it is, what it do? Come on in, come on through. I'm really grateful to be here. Seriously, it's taken some time this week to get this episode out, but I feel like this is going to help so many people, especially, people that need help with growing and maturing or healing from, maybe things that their parents or guardians or whoever put them through, that they weren't aware about. You don't know what you don't know. And now I'm about to put you guys on game. So go ahead. This is definitely going to be a podcast that you need to have your Mama K's Place journal out for and your blue pen. So make sure you go ahead and grab that so we could get started. I'm going to give you a second. And if you haven't, you could pause and go ahead and roll up. This is going to be a type of talk it's going to step on some necks, and it might open your eyes to, dang, like this is me, or this is what I've grown up, the environment that I've grown up in, or, wow, this is how my child acts. I need to work on that as a father, as a mother, as a guardian, whatever it might be. This is very important, okay? So I'm gonna give you a second. And if you're new here, hey, new family, welcome to the village. I'm so happy and so grateful to have you here. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe if you're listening from YouTube, or if you're listening from Apple, wherever, put your family on, okay? Okay, so listen. Today's talk is about codependency, okay? I'm going to tell you, what it is, why it happens, and what it can look like. And I'll also help you with healing it, okay? And helping your children heal it as well, because if you're a parent, the things that I'm going to point out to you is some things that I noticed in my own child, that I had to make some moves and changes because I wanted him to grow up and to be an emotionally intelligent and healthy minded, young man. So I had to start healing myself with the way that I'm going to help you guys. And it's definitely shown a lot of difference in my son, the way that he talks, the way that he acts, the way that he reacts, and everything like that. So I'm going to put y'all on game. Shout out to everybody that's here. So listen. Go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Codependency, y'all. Okay, codependency is an addictive behavior that comes from an insecure attachment, right? A lot of us have heard about people being codependent, or maybe you haven't, but a lot of people think of it as somebody who has had bad relationship skills, somebody that is just so dependent on their partner, or, maybe they just have issues with like hopping in relationships all the time because they have abandonment issues and things like that, or maybe they see it as, a consequence of being with somebody who had an addiction. People get judged for being clingy or being passive aggressive, but this is actually the manifestation of codependency. And I want you guys to know that those are not the only ways, or even it's not even necessary to have been in a relationship to develop codependency in your relationships, your friendships, whatever it might be. Codependency is honestly more of a symptom of an insecure attachment, okay? By the way, this is just going to be a part 1. I'm going to dive into this in a part 2 and probably a part 3, because I feel like this is such an important topic for y'all, with dealing it with your friendships, your lovers, your children, your family, or even business partners, people that you might want to work with or be working with. This is very important, okay? So, being that This is a symptom of an insecure attachment. A lot of this comes from childhood trauma, okay? Those adverse childhood experiences manifested into codependency, okay? So I want my parents that are listening to pay attention to not only your own signs and confirmations, but signs and confirmations of your babies too, okay? We have to be the change. We must change in order for our kids to be able to grow and develop and change as well. All right. So, what is an attachment? An attachment is the quality of relationship between people. Okay. So look, as a youngin, we seek the approval and to gain our mother and father or guardian, auntie, uncle, whoever it is, we seek the approval to gain their love, okay? It might not be that way as you're older now, but as we're young, as we're little, these baby spirits, we have to learn the world, learn how the universe works and everything like that. We're seeking the approval of the person and the love of the people that are raising us, right? And it was their job as our parents or whoever to show that love and approval back, and to create a healthy inner dialogue between us. And not everybody got this. So this is where the codependency comes in. All right. So, if you haven't been the type of person to show your child that love and approval, you don't know how to express your feelings, or you don't know how to share that, give that love, please really do listen up and pay attention to what I have to say, because your baby needs you. Or even, if you don't have kids yet, you need yourself. Okay, this is very important. So that being said, not everybody does this, because you may not be used to receiving it. So, the cycle continues. But what we're here to do is break it. And I'm going to put y'all on game, period. Okay. I know that might have hurt a couple people. And I've been feeling this heaviness in my energy because I have been literally attempting to get this message out since Monday. Monday I was sick as a dog after I ate some pineapple juice on an empty stomach, a raw empty stomach. I drank some pineapple juice on a raw empty stomach, canned pineapple juice, and it tore my stomach up, for real. So I was very, very sick, and shout out to my homegirl that sat with me while I was over here throwing my life up. This message, I know that this message is for somebody, all right? Especially if you've just never understood how your mind or the way that you work in your relationships and things like that, you're attracting certain type of people, or you always have a certain type of outcome. I got your back, okay? So it tends to manifest, as unconsciously seeking love, or unconsciously seeking approval, acceptance, and validation from other people. All right. This also intertwines with people pleasing for some people. What can I do for everybody else? Instead of what do I need? What do I feel? What do I think? And yes, it is great to be selfless. We have to be selfless. We have to look out for other people in the village. And I do want to start getting you guys together in this village. I'm going to open up the Patreon for y'all. But, as kids, we're supposed to develop a healthy and secure attachment to our caregiver. They feed us when we get hungry. They wipe our behinds when we poo-poo. They keep us safe and feeling secure when we're scared. They help us with learning our emotions and how they work, because we don't really quite understand. They teach us how to cope with distress and empathize with other people, or how to communicate how we feel and our wants and needs. And that's a lot, It teaches us our healthy boundaries and self-esteem. And if our kids or us did not receive that secure attachment as an infant or a child, it makes it very difficult later in life to develop those skills or to use those skills, because we don't know, and it's not, and I'm not telling you that you have to hate your parents, or you have to take things out on them, or just hold a grudge and resentment. because you shouldn't do that. Okay, you definitely shouldn't do that. But these were it was very important for them to pave the way and show us and teach us. If you take a look at yourself, or even take a look at other people, if it's not you, because if it's not you, then you need to go ahead and make sure that you send this to somebody, so that they are able to cope and develop and learn as well. And then those people, there's people that they don't do well. They don't do well in relationships. They don't do well in learning, and they, learning how other people think, and they don't do well with communicating their feelings, and being able to grow and glow with other people, or even with just feeling safe and feeling secure in their connections and all of these things. Pass this to somebody else. They need this. Pass this to your homeboy. Pass this to your homegirl, because you never know how you could change their life. You never know how you could help them with growing. Your relationship with whoever you're dealing with. If you're dealing with somebody, they might not want to talk to you about this, or it might make them feel like they're less than, or they don't know how to empathize with you. That is, help them. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to feel. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to communicate, their wants and their needs. They don't have healthy boundaries, or their self-esteem is shit. Help them, okay? Or maybe you're noticing these patterns in maybe your nieces and nephews or other people's kids. Start being the one to make the change, okay? So, that being said, you should always be growing and becoming more emotionally intelligent, okay? It's okay if you don't know things. Like I said earlier, you don't know what you don't know, okay? And if this is you, don't feel bad. That's why you're here. I got your back. Mama K is here with the info, with the tea. You know what I'm saying, baby? So, that being said, don't feel bad. And just remember, we're in divine timing, and it's no time like the present to become your greatest self. That's what we're here to do. We are a village. We learn together, right? And so many people have grown up where the guardian has had mental health issues or addictions that affected them, or even just being broke, living in poverty, having to work overtime so much and hustling, working all day, waking up early in the morning to hustle, because, you got to get it for your kids, or you got to get it for your family. Nobody else can run it but you. And then when they get home, they're too tired, they're drained, they don't have the energy or the patience for their family, for their kids. They didn't have the patience for you because they were so tired from work. You had a roof over your head, you had food on your plate, you had clothes on your back, but you were missing that love, that spiritual connection that could help you with becoming whole and being able to attract a different type of love for self and more healthier boundaries in your life. It's very important. And if you don't have your water or your tea, I didn't say that this time, but if you don't have your water or your tea, you're slacking. You need to get some water in your body. I don't know who need to hear that, but clearly Spirit said you need to drink some water. Hydrate yourself, okay? So, nobody chooses and wants to be emotionally unavailable to their child on purpose, okay? People, like I said, some people have mental health issues, addictions. People didn't realize that they were suffering from mental health issues. And if I'm being transparent, I am the type of person where I was at one point, I would stay up late all freaking night, and then I would wake up early in the morning and do it all over again because, I wanted to look out for other people. I wanted to make sure that I was getting to my bag. I wanted to make sure that I was rising to the occasion every single day, not knowing that, me working so hard, or me hustling so much, or me showing up and rising to the occasion that can take an effect on my child. And I refuse, and I'll be damned if my child has to heal from that, So I want you guys to, I understand the hustle. I understand getting to a bag. I understand these things. But you have to realize that your child, though, that baby, or even your relationships, is going to put a toll on it. You have to be able to slow down. You got to be able to relax, okay? You got to be able to realize that everything is already, your footsteps are already ordered. All you got to do is step out on faith, show up with gratitude every single day, and the Most High is going to make sure that all of your needs are met in full, times 10, really. Okay, so do what you have to do, but make sure that you're not taking time away from, yourself, or if you have kids, your kids, okay, or your spouse. That is important. Okay, I might not be in a relationship, y'all, but I do know that it takes effort, it takes work for a relationship to work, and you have to be growing and glowing together and working together in order for any relationship to work. That's even with friendships. It don't have to be a husband or a wife, So, nobody chooses to just be emotionally unavailable to their child. Most parents want to engage when possible. So if you were kind of pushed to the side a little bit, or you had to grow up early or quick, or be more responsible faster, you need to break that. You need to do some shadow work, and make sure that you are tending to yourself, because of the simple fact that you don't want that to manifest into your everyday life or your relationships with others. You don't want to run people off, listen real quick though. Hold on. I just got this. If you're suffering from postpartum, or y'all want me to, give that podcast, please let me know. Or if you need a one-on-one venting session, y'all already know, 55 for 45 minutes. And I'll also give you an intuitive message that I get, or if you need a healing bath, that is available as well. So just DM me on the page, okay? But listen though, if you're suffering, even if you're a man, because shout out to my dudes on here, my kings, my divine masculines, y'all are tapped in and y'all are healing with us as well, and I appreciate y'all so much. If you want to engage with your child, you want to engage with people, and you just can't, or maybe you suffered, or not suffered, or maybe you grew up with this childhood and you just haven't been able to quite pinpoint and be able to talk through it or walk through it. I am here, and you're not alone. We're a village together. All right, y'all? So, if a parent or etc., whoever, was overwhelmed and ill-equipped, it'll cause an insecure attachment, right? So now I'm going to tell you what these insecure attachments look like. So the first one would be anxious attachment. So this is a child or an adult who is terrified of being left alone. Like, they are so scared of abandonment. I remember when I was little, I lived in Vicenza, Italy, and my one of my little homegirls from class, her dad got deployed. And I remember her mom was bringing her to school, and she was so distraught. That was around the time of 9/11. I remember it was a lot of... Man, it was just a tough time for a lot of us military kids, and our parents. But I remember looking out the window, and she was chasing her mom outside the school. And mind you, we were not even like 7 years old, 8 years old. Like, we were young. And I remember this vividly. And this is a sign, this is an anxious attachment. Okay? These are, children or adults that always need to, well, not children, but adults. As an adult, you always need to be in a relationship. Somebody that always needs to be in a relationship, or that is always peeping to see if they're going to be left alone, or it be abandoned. They need that closeness. And then when they get somebody close to them, they're so scared that they're going to lose it. So they're always on guard. They always need constant reassurance. Reassurance is great. I love me some reassurance, baby. Don't get it twisted, okay? But at the same time, you don't need to be always, you should just know in your spirit, in your mind, body, and spirit that this is my person. Like, they got me, they got me, and I don't have anything to worry about. I'm not going to stress it, because if I do lose them, then I know that there's better for me. That's the way that you should be thinking. That's the way that I think now. I haven't always been this way. I used to be scared of losing somebody, and unfortunately, I had to grow through that, So don't think that you're weird, or you're not masculine enough, or you're a simp, or you're doing too much. No, you just didn't know that this is a sign of codependency. Okay. So the next attachment style, the next style of insecure attachment is avoidant. So these are people, they grew up, and now today they think that nobody could be trusted. I don't trust nobody. I don't rock with nobody. I'm one deep. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Nobody's worth investing their time into. Their time and their energy, their emotions into. I ain't got time for love. I ain't got time for these hoes. I ain't got time for these. Y'all know what I'm saying? Monetizing over here, baby. Or I know you'll leave me and hurt me. I know you'll let me fall. I know that if I let her into my heart, she gonna fuck me over. I know that if I let him in, he's gonna play me. He's gonna ghost me, And the last style is gonna be our anxious avoidant. So it's like a little combination, you know what I'm saying? A little combination of the two. If you've been seeing 2 or twos, this is a confirmation message that you're in the right place, okay? But if you have an anxious avoidant, or somebody has an anxious avoidant attachment, they go back and forth with, I need you, I love you, I want you to, and please don't go nowhere, to, go away, get out my face, like, I don't want to be bothered, woo, woo, woo. That's not okay, it's not okay. And then, they may get angry and overwhelmed, and then they shut down, or they disappear, or they go into these modes where they disappear and then they show up and disappear and show up. And then when they feel better, they start fearing that loneliness again, and then they come back around, and then they just repeat the cycle, And this also tends to show in people with complex PTSD and, borderline personality disorders too. So those are signs that you have, those are styles of these attachments. My bad, y'all. I ain't editing this. I just at that. So these are things that you want to take into record. Oh shit, what's the word? Take into. Damn, I don't know what the word is right now. But y'all know what I'm saying. And just think about it and process it, and start looking at other people and the way that they talk, the way that they walk, the way that they move, the way that they act, people that you attract into your life. This is a great way to be able to see the red flags, and please make sure that if you meet other people like this, we have to handle them with care. Or if your kids are like this, we have to handle them with care. It might be a little frustrating because you understand and they don't understand. They're smarter than we think. We got to be patient, okay? I get it's easier to yell. It's easier to get frustrated or ignore them or whatever. Stop doing that. It's not okay. It's not okay. And I be peeping at sometimes, like, when people talk to my son, and, I'll butt in and I'll cut into the conversation and answer for him or whatever it is, because I can tell when other people don't have the emotional intelligence or the patience that they need to have with him or, I could tell that they weren't given that patience. So they don't understand. They think that this is how, the way that they treat kids or people, like that's normal, or the way that they were treated, like that's the normal way to be. And honestly, you guys, it's not. But we're changing things now, okay? So before I wrap this up, I'm going to give you guys some signs of codependency conditioning. So if any of these signs, you recognize them, 25, these are signs, or maybe you just want to dive deeper and say like, okay, damn, maybe this is me, shit. These are signs of your codependency conditioning that you've grown up into. So the first one is, unconsciously you obsess over controlling the behavior of others. You want people to behave the way that you want them to. You get into relationships and you think they're supposed to act the way you want them to act. They're supposed to live the way that you want them to live. Your friends are supposed to do exactly what you want them to do. Your kids, they're supposed to feel, act, and sound the way that you want them to. And that's honestly just not the case, The next sign is you believe that other people's feelings are your responsibility. They're not. The way that they feel is not your responsibility. This is something that I was peeping at my son. He would be so sad about how somebody else would feel sad or somebody else would feel upset. But, when it came time for him, the other little kids, they didn't give a damn about his feelings. So I had to really do some research and really just search and understand. And the honest truth is, I used to be that same way. I was in a really toxic relationship years ago. And I really felt like, his feelings were my responsibility. Like, I had to make him happy. I had to make him feel good. I had to make him realize that, his life was worth it, or, he always had me. He didn't have to feel alone. That was not my damn responsibility. Okay? People have to heal, and yes, we could be there through people's journey, but you should only take so much, sis. I ain't telling y'all to look. When it's supposed to be and when it ain't. Some of y'all know it ain't, and then you still there. But anyways, the next sign is you're overly self-critical or scared of other people's criticism. 27. You do something and you're just like, oh my God, I don't know if I like this. Or you post a picture. Oh my God, one thing I can't stand is when people post, I don't know if I like this picture. No, this picture's kind of ugly. Might delete it later. Like, why did you even post it? Or, you post a picture of yourself and you keep looking at it, and you're like, oh my God, there's a hair out of place. Oh my God, I had a booger. Oh my God, my stomach is sticking out. Oh my God, I'm too skinny. Oh my God, whatever it might be. Or, oh my God, I wonder if other people like this. I wonder if other people are going to like this idea. So you go posting your new ideas and, or whatever. Y'all know, shoot. And then the next one is lacking relationship boundaries, responsibilities. Child, one of y'all might need to get on your responsibilities. But anyways, lacking relationship boundaries, okay? You have to have boundaries in your relationships, your friendships. I'm the type of person where I have boundaries and I'm not going to do certain things. I don't like certain things, you know what I'm saying? And that's just something that I'm not willing to cross my boundaries. I don't like people wearing shoes in my house. Don't wear your shoes in my house, because now I got to go mopping stuff all over again. I usually have a door on, a note on my door for people because I don't like that. Or, if your kids mess up something in my house, like, you need to fix it. If they break something, you need to replace it, or whatever it might be. If something gets damaged, and a lot of people don't like those type of things, in relationships. I'm a free spirit, you're a free spirit, we come together, but we're still independent. We support each other. I'm down for the traditional vibes. I could take care of house, cook, clean, all of that stuff, but at the same time, I feel like, we're supposed to also be able to be our free selves too. And no, I'm not saying messing with nobody else, because I don't do that poly stuff, and it's cool, but I will probably knock your head off. But I'm just playing. I am not into DV. But, I believe that I should be able to be my free self, and we don't always have to go everywhere together. We don't always have to, spend every hour of the day together. I don't have to sit on the damn phone with you all day, every day. I don't have to text you back within a certain amount of time. I'm allowed to fall asleep without you thinking that that I'm cheating on you or whatever it might be, you guys. It's so many different boundaries that you might have, and you need to sit with yourself and figure those out. And I have homework for y'all, so make sure that you're listening to the end. It's 2:22 right now. Confirmation for somebody, okay? Please know that everything that you need is coming to you with speed. If you're looking for anybody or anything, okay, just keep growing and developing, and it'll grow and develop and come to you. Don't stress. And then my last sign is feeling like people took advantage of you, or having resentment over people because others don't give like you. Other people don't show they love the way, as much as you do. They don't, whatever. They don't give as like you do. And so you start resenting them and other people, and you feel like, oh my God, they took advantage of me and they used me and this, that, and the other. No, baby, your heart chakra is overactive. You need to dial it back, and you need to put that love into yourself. All right? So I hope that you guys got something from this message. And the homework for today that I have in your journals, I want you to write out your boundaries tonight. Your no-goes, your limits. You need to know them, so that when certain people start, crossing certain boundaries, you're like, oh, beep, 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 back it up, back it up, back it up. You need a wristband. You need a wristband. You need a wristband. You need a wristband. Okay? Like, no. Okay? So you need to know, how to spot your boundaries. And if you don't know your boundaries, you're not going to be able to speak up for them. And then listen to me, okay? People that don't accept your boundaries, they don't like your boundaries, those are not the people for you. If they make you feel like, oh, you too good for somebody, you think you better, fuck yes. That's the way the cookie crumble and the way the mop flop. Now hit the wop and get out. Okay? So that's just that. Your second part of your homework is going to be, look into maybe doing some counseling. Think about how you might like that. Oh, sorry. Well, this is not the homework, but this is, just something that could help you with healing your codependency. Being able to talk to others, being able to talk to somebody that you can trust, a therapist, somebody that's unbiased and non-judgmental, won't tell your business. If you want to schedule a venting session with me and follow that up with an intuitive message, y'all already know I got you. Okay. But another part of your homework is self-love. Okay. I want you to do a self-love act for yourself tonight. This is the most important relationship, is with yourself. Okay. That shadow work. If you need a self-love bath, holla at me. If you need a self-love rolling tray set, holla at me. Y'all already know how I'm coming. Okay. That shadow work is going to get you where you need to be. 33 on the time. That shadow work is going to get you where you need to be. All right. I'm proud of you, and I'm so grateful that you're here today. And today is literally a huge step in beginning, your new life today, tomorrow. So just know that you being here and you listening to this, something great is going to manifest in your life because you took the time to get some personal development and some help in, you're able to view life differently. You're able to get in tune with yourself and your children, your family in a different way, And please, if you are the type that yells at your kid or gets very frustrated, it's time for you to start apologizing to them. I don't care if your parents didn't used to do it. They wasn't hip enough. Get hip. All right? But I love you guys. I'm grateful for y'all sliding through to the crib for me one more time. And I'm proud of us, because this growth and this development is busting and it's booming. If you are on if you're on Instagram or Facebook, screenshot this and tag me and show me that you made it to the end of this podcast. I would love to know who my real true listeners are, so that I can really get involved with y'all and really pour more into people that don't take this for granted. I really do appreciate you and I love you. Okay, it's your girl Mama K, the Mommy and the Mogul, and you are listening to the Mama K's Place podcast. I love y'all. See you later.